I bet you didn't think that you could get Botox, fillers, and even teeth whitening done in a van. But we were recently challenged to take a med spa and put it on wheels. So one of the biggest challenges behind a build like this was obviously creating the type of aesthetic that the client wanted, but also making sure that we had enough power in the van to essentially power all of the things that she was using to perform the services that she was offering. I'm going to walk you through from start to finish how we took this winter cargo van and turned it into a beautiful mobile med spa. My name is Brooklyn Avila, and I'm the owner here at Van Sharps. We build vans for outdoor enthusiasts, families, and even businesses like this one. When I tell most people some of the things that we put in vans, they think I'm crazy, including when I tell them that we just put a full-blown mobile med spa together inside of a Sprinter van. But I'm here to walk you through the process of how we just did it from start to finish. Come on. Here's the biggest challenge that we've had with this med spa van. Typically on our camper vans or on our family vans, we use power elements that are 12-volt power elements. And some of the aesthetic items that she wanted in this van were what you would typically see in a home. So anytime you do that, you obviously need to have a lot more view. And that can be difficult to view when you also do not want to have a generator powering the vehicle. Really, we wanted to stay away from the generator for her because they are loud, they're not convenient, you always have to put gas in them, and it just did not really go with the aesthetic of a luxurious mobile med spa. So we had to sit down and spend a lot of time calculating just exactly how much use she would need to power her van for up to 8 hours at a time. And what we came up with is using 6 200 amp hour batteries that are connected to her alternator, so that way as she's driving along, they'll recharge for her. And then we set her up to add solar panels at some point so that she can also get solar energy when she's ready to.
So this is the initial rendering that we created for Zion. So after having seen some of the inside elements of this van, you can see that there were some things ultimately that we changed, right? Sometimes as you get into an actual build, there are some things that you find are maybe less practical or even some things that you want to add. One of the things in particular that ended up being a little bit less practical for this build was a hanging chandelier. So what we ended up doing for Zion's van is we did something that was a little bit more low profile. Something else that we did are these IV hooks. Rather than have them inside the wall, we actually put them up on the upper radius panels here. So that actually, just aesthetically looked a lot nicer for her. This rear space is more to hold other functional elements. So this rear space is where her gray water tank is. And so a gray water tank is where your sink, at any time, as long as you don't have a toilet on board, you don't have to have a black water tank. A gray water tank is sufficient for if you're just doing things like washing your hands. And so that is the receptacle for the waste from her sink there. Her fresh water tank is actually underneath the van because one of the biggest challenges here was making sure that there was enough space in here and that it didn't feel small. So we ended up putting that underneath the van so that we would have room to put her large batteries back here as well. Overall, the vehicle looks very, very similar to the rendering that we put together for her.
So this is our shop. At any given time, we're rocking out with 15 to 20 vans at a time. We push out about 4 to 7 custom full custom builds a month. So from the time that this van arrived in our shop to the time that it went out, it was about 3.5 weeks. However, the entire life cycle of the project really starts with that first initial meeting that we have with the client. That first initial meeting is really to talk about what the client's expectations are. What do they want? What are they using the van for? What kind of functionality are they using? With this particular build, it was unique in that Diane became our client even before we had her vehicle. So it works out really well. Because we were able to design her van using our 3D rendering software, and go over all of the aesthetics that she wanted in this vehicle. So we're able to order all the things necessary that we needed to be able to put in the van, and then build all of the custom items that we were going to put in it as well before the van got here.
So you saw the plans, you heard the challenges, and now let me present you the mobile med spa. So the first thing that you see when you walk into this van is this beautiful logo. So this is Diane's logo for the mobile med spa. This logo was really complicated to get on that wall. I even have a scar to prove it. It took us a very long time to get it straight. We did it and redid it several times. We ran LED lights behind the middle portion that stay lit up all the time. So that way you can always see the logo and it's front and center for every one of her clients that walks in. So another one of the big challenges was making sure that this space was very relaxing for her clients when they were in here. As you can see, it's very, very relaxing. From the textures that we chose for the walls to the ceiling that we have up there with the wood paneling. We have an aftermarket AC unit in here as well so that you're never boiling back here in the back of this van. To tell you the truth, when the door is closed, it doesn't even feel like you're in a van. And as many times as I have shown video content of this particular vehicle to my friends and family, I've had more than one person say that's inside of a van because they've been shocked with just how luxurious it feels. So behind me, you can see some of the more functional items that we have in this vehicle. So you have a sink back there, you have cabinets for storage. Behind one of these bottom cabinets, you also have a fridge so that she can keep any product refrigerated that she needs to. And then she even has all of her paneling for her inverter that monitors her battery life. The rear area of the van is really more for the functionality that she needed. So now we're back in my office. This is my mom here. I like having her here. Some people think it's a little strange. I think it's good energy. But going back to this mobile med spa van, our client Zion found us online. She lives in the San Antonio area, and we are Houston based for those of you that don't know. She had a lot of trouble finding somebody that would do this for her. You guys can see, this paneling that I have on my office wall here in the back. I did that because she wanted to do that paneling on the ceiling of her van, and I wanted to test it on something before we did it in her vehicle. So we really go above and beyond to do whatever we can to meet our clients' needs. But Zion interviewed several different van conversion companies, and I think she knew that there was a team here that could give her aesthetically what she wanted. And that all started with the schematics and the 3D rendering that we prepared for her. I always encourage clients, when you're making an investment like this, it's very important for you to not be shy, right? This is going to be your vehicle, and we want you. Our goal is to make sure that when you leave here, you leave happy. So I really encouraged her to print these renderings out, mark them up, tell me what she liked, what she did not like. And so we did go through that exercise about 3 times before we finally settled on a final rendering. So now you've seen exactly what it took to get this mobile med spa on the road. Let me know what you think of this van. We're super proud of it. You can leave a comment below, share it with your friends and family, or maybe even an injector that is looking to take her business mobile. Whenever you're ready to hit the road with Van Sharks, check us out online at www.vansharks.com. As always, whatever your van appetite may be, if you dream it, we'll build it. Sink your teeth into our vans today.